Good morning and welcome into Hello Crypto episode 3 presented by 60s Trading. Master the markets with precision. Learn, execute, profit. I'm 60 and joining us again today is Jay from the alphaangle.com. As always, Alpha Angle, embrace the crypto culture. For all your crypto apparel needs, head on over to the alphaangle.com. All right, so let's get into it. Looking at XRP, man. We're still pretty much parabolic to the upside here. It's like we were saying yesterday that if we broke the 4-hour pink line, you're going to be seeing that, order block to the upside is where we're going to wind up going to. We're still pushing towards it. We could see that this morning around the 8:30, 9:30 area Eastern time. It pushed on up into there. So what we would be looking for on that would be an entry somewhere around $2.47 and a stop loss just right there around the $2.52 up to that $2.53 area. Because if we wind up getting a super amount of bullish volatility this morning, we could push up and break through that and start aiming towards higher prices. But my expectations is to hit that and to be able to reverse, to pull back and hit one of these lower order blocks we've created. But yeah, if we break through that, we're going to look at, better entry on up. But so far, it's doing exactly what we thought it would do if it broke the pink line. And that's just letting you know that, now we got all these other pink lines down below. 1 minute, technically it's already come up and hit it again this morning. But we still have the 5 minutes sitting down at $2.20. 15 minutes down at the 203. I think we still have the 2 hours still sitting down there in the $2 area. And take a look here. Yeah, it's coming just above that. So, man, look at the bands here on the 2 hour. We got the pink, the blue, and the yellow are squeezing tight. They are getting close to a flip to a bullish positioning. So we could be seeing price wind up pulling back to that $2 area. And those flipping bullish, I mean, this could be the next bull run pump here, the breakaway from Bitcoin, and we just hit some new all-time highs coming. What are you thinking this morning, Jay?
Kind of like yesterday, I don't see anything that's telling me one way or the other for this first initial move for today. But I think the 215 mark is going to be a springboard. If I had to make a choice right now, I think it's going to continue up, but I do think that we'll see not a major pullback, but a slight pullback here to around 215. And I agree with the bullish posture that we're starting to see this morning.
Now, while you sit there talking about that stuff, I'm sitting here looking at, like I'm still on the 2 hour chart and stuff. And of course, I can see that on this, parabolic move to the upside, we've created a couple of order blocks. I mean, we got, you see one of them here at 209 down to 207. We got another one that's at 213 down to that 211 area. I mean, honestly, those would be some good, spots to be pulling back to for a reset, to pull on up some more. But there is still that good possibility of coming back down to our 2 hour pink line, which is at 201 right now, hitting this lower order block of $201.99. Now, I won't rule out the fact of there's a possibility of that $1.88, $1.82 that could be at play where they do a spike all the way down, nailing that, which would more than likely clear every single lower order block, or not order block, but pink line that we have, just about. I mean, look, the daily pink line's sitting at $1.98. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to break below $2 again right now, but you know, I'm not going to rule it out that that's a possibility, seeing how we do have those order blocks there that's been created, all that fair value gaps has been created. But I mean, we are in a position to push up a little bit more and then, you know, see a pullback, which would be a healthy pullback on this continuation to the upside. Let's see.
Never.
And that would be Jay singing this morning. He's serenading everybody
Sorry
this
about
morning.
that.
Yeah. Oh man, if you take you take a look at the bigger picture and you break it out to the weekly and look at it, what is it we're doing right now on the weekly is we're pulling up above our red line. So that order block that we're calling for at the 247 area, that corresponds with coming up above our red line for the week, where we could tap it and then be able to see a healthy little pullback to one of these lower order blocks that we've got there. But the slingshot is already being in effect here. That's where we had this, you know, green line across the red here, and it's pulled back. And like I've been calling, when the weekly was in a slingshot position, getting ready for another takeoff. And right now, it's what we're seeing is that, you know, big beautiful candle taking off up to here for the weekly. But I would like to see right here on our normal structure, we'll be able to hit that order block, and then possibly for this week, either we're going to take and pull back in here for another weekly candle to pull back a little bit, or we're going to see it sent. So we'll probably see go up on this week, hitting the order block, pulling back a little ways to fill, but going right back up this week. Yeah, that's exactly what we were sitting there talking about. Is going to pull back down here below the orange. It sets up that little, you know, kind of like a slingshot. You grab the green line, you pull it down, load it, release it, and that's where we're headed. But that's XRP. We're still looking at that going on up before we look at any kind of shorts. I am still in the entry that I got in at around that, you know, $2. I think it was like $2.02 or something is where I got in at. And, you know, so I'm still in that one. I think I'm up, like, last I checked, was 70-something% on the 5X leverage. Because of how big the order block was that I was getting in at and where I got in at. I lowered it down to a 5X as a, you know, I didn't want to lose too much on a stop loss if it was to be hit. And that's the great thing about our system is we got that risk management where, you know, we're anticipating, you know, that there could be a loss, and if we do have a loss, we're managing how much of a loss it would be, so that way we don't take that big of a loss. We get back in at the better entry and take and ride that up and don't have that much of a loss. You know, we make more than we lost, and a lot more than that. But let's see here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin real quick. All right, go ahead.
Oh, all my targets were hit. I'm right now completely on the sidelines, and I don't think you and I were on the same chart actually, but
let me go back to the XRP for you. There you go.
4 hour.
What you looking for?
Oh, I'm actually sorry, man. I had plotted a box or an order block on the wrong chart, so I was finding it so I could get rid of it, so I didn't try and use it at some point.
All right. You good to move on to Bitcoin?
Yeah. Go for it, buddy.
Yeah. We're not going to take and hang in here too long stuff, because we do have a few other ones to get through here before through this episode and stuff. But so Bitcoin, it actually broke the top of this order block that we came into, and then we've pulled back. So looking at it, it shows we're going to see another push up, which we could be seeing that 98,000 on Bitcoin coming up. See, a push like that would get us definitely into our $2.47 area for XRP. So that's a good thing too of looking at Bitcoin right now, because pretty much all the cryptos are kind of tied to Bitcoin. So it goes up, they're going to get pulled up. It goes down, it's going to drag them down too. But now when we get that breakaway, that's the beautiful stuff. But looking at it, we pulled back down on the 4 hour. We've touched the green line, the blue line and stuff, and now we're looking for another push up. As I was, thinking we would see this morning, either around the 8:30 or that 9:30 area, the market open. See a push up there, possibly might be a slow push up throughout the day. I'm not really sure. I don't see the future enough to know how much of a push and all that, but I do see us going up, possibly seeing at 98,000 today, and then from there, everything is telling us that we need to pull back. Bitcoin's 5 minutes still saying that we're in the green area, so we still got a little bit of a push up that it can do before it flips red, and then you'll be able to see it pull it back. The daily still shows that Bitcoin still has a little bit more room to go before we get back into a shorting position for it. Yeah, I mean, for Bitcoin, that's all I'm looking for right now is possibly a push up to that 98,000, maybe just 96,000 right here for the daily, hitting this blue line, and then seeing a little bit of a pullback on there. Ethereum, that the pull up that we would be seeing on Bitcoin stuff that would help XRP will also help Ethereum push up into this upper order block here, hitting our yellow line for it, up in that $3,353 area. This was one that's marked out on the daily here. So this order block has not been mitigated. So we're going to see it being pushed up and hit in there. So if you was on Ethereum for a short, you'd be looking at entry around at $3,288 with a stop loss somewhere around that $3,446 area. And then, of course, just to adjust your leverage. And if you're not sure what your leverage is, all you got to do is head over to 60strading.com and you can click on the trade calculator. Thanks to Jay here. He helped create this. And so you're able to come in here and choose a long, short, enter in what your leverage is, entry, stop loss, take profit, how much you're going to put in for the trade. Calculate it, and it's going to tell you what your profit would be on the ROI, the loss amount, and how much the ROI on that is. And if it's too much of a loss, adjust your leverage on there until it shows the amount that you're willing to lose if it goes sideways. Now, we have a lot more wins on these trades than we do losses. So you're going to be winding up making more money than you're going to lose anyways. But yeah, just head over to 60trading.com. You can be able to use that trade calculator. It's free for everybody to use. That's Ethereum right now, as we're looking for it to push on up into that order block before it pulls back down again. We talked yesterday about DAG. I don't want to go too far. Was you wanting to say anything on Bitcoin or Ethereum there?
Nope. I'm waiting on your DAG actually.
All right. So here we are. We're over on DAG. We're taking a look at it, and we can see that we've pulled all the way up above our orange line. and we are in the position to see it, possibly pull back down for an order block here and then back up, because once we cross that red, we need to see it pull back down below the green and the red area, and then another push to the upside. I don't think we're going to see this lower order block. I could be wrong, but if anything, would be this first order block here, because we need to come down just below that green before we continue to the upside with it. But now again, Bitcoin pushes up stuff, it may cause this to go ahead and push and break yesterday's high of the 0.014408 area, and then be able to see that upper order block we got called there before we pull back down. And that's a very good possibility of that too.
I've still got confidence in this project. It's been just going down for goodness since like summer of last year. And so, but I'm honestly, I know that some guys are talking about how it's failed. I'm still feeling like this is just a good entry point, a good price to take a good position.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about, some people, saying, oh, it ain't worth nothing, it's bad, it's just going down. I mean, that's just like, that's like a XRP story right there, honestly. Get out of it, get out of it, get out of it. And then what happens is, then we shoot up from that, 48 cent all the way up to $2.90. And then you push on up to $3, So, I mean, we're one up seeing it with DAG here. I mean, it looks ready for some very good bullish momentum. So, I'm in it. I've got my spot entries in there and stuff. I've already got purchased. It came down some more. I purchased more. I mean, I played it kind of like I've been playing XRP, just adding to it. It goes down more. It's like, hey, discount. Let's go back the trucks up and let's load up some more. So, as it sits, I mean, we're in the profits on it. So, if it goes back to its all-time high,
that'd be like a 40x.
Dude,
35
all the way up to 46 cent from down to from a cent. I mean, yeah, you're going to see a beautiful profit off of that. Depending on how much you make, or you buy into it. I mean, you go up there and you hit that all-time high or break it. I mean, it's going to make millionaires.
When was all-time high on this? Do you have that? I guess I can pull that
let's see. Well, actually, the high was 46 right there, it looks like. And that was August 23rd of 2021.
So, yeah, so we haven't hit all-time high again yet this year or this cycle on this.
We've not had altcoin season yet. I mean,
no, I agree, brother.
So yeah, that's right there is a good possibility of it. And I mean, when I'm even zoomed out here on the weekly, I can see that we've been riding that green line down. We tapped it multiple times. You got entered into it, tapped it, broke it a little bit, and then we got another one there, and we're now breaking it. And with that curvature on it, we've hit that bottom area right there, and now it's turned. We're going to see it pull on up. And that order block that we got called out for the daily there, that would be a perfect, pull up in there above the green, tap it, pull back, and then hit another order block that's going to be on the bottom side here, which we may create on the way up, and then continue to push to the upside with this thing. I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at XRP and all these, and I'm looking at alt season fixing to kick in, and we're about to see some very bullish momentum coming in.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to find myself on the sideline anytime whenever this takes off too.
Absolutely.
This chart looks good.
I mean, if you ain't in it, I would be in it, but I'm not telling anybody to purchase it. I'm not giving any kind of financial advice on that, but I've got it. I'm actually thinking about buying a little bit more today. Let's see. We also have HBAR, which HBAR is down about 0.5% this morning. Looks like. What do we got here? So we've not even got anything marked out on HBAR here, but we do have the daily order block there. And then, of course, there's another one created right there. So you're looking at what? We got 11 cent down to 10 cent. And then you got 12 cent down to 11 cent area.
I think that your 11 cent would be a good spot to set up here. I'm going to actually probably put a little trade in here today on HBAR.
Yeah,
there's nothing below that bottom
for it to pull back, but it's not there yet. Looks like it can push up some higher. We're actually currently in an actual order block that was created coming down. I think actually, are we in it? The entry on that one would be 0.13443.
Do a long press. Do a long press over the candle. No, out of the order block. Just no. If you do a left click, a long click on actually go on the candle. There you go. It'll give you all that a little bit easier to see.
Oh, I'm able to see mine up there at the top across the screen. Yeah, so you got that, 0.13443 is that low. And then with this candle, the high is 13364. So we're right there just touching that order block.
It's nice when the order blocks that we've got plotted are reinforced by the EMA lines.
Absolutely. One 4195. Okay, that one in there. So it's right there. We could see another push up into that before we see a short on that one, but it is coming into it. This one's already been filled. We have this one up here, which would be your next one you'd want to see, which would be just above the daily pink line. That order block would be.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Whenever those are aligning, that's something to pay attention to.
Absolutely. 18 cent down to the 17 cent area. Then you put in around a 17, stop loss up around at 18, almost 19 cent. you'd be seeing coming up above the pink line, hitting in the order block, which would clear the yellow and the blue on the daily. And I'm pretty sure there's no, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, what was that price we was looking at? So 16 cents for the pink line there. I don't think we have any kind of pink lines that's going to be higher than that. Nope. They're all that, yeah, so that right there would get you your daily pink. So we're going to be looking at that coming in here soon. I expect to see us hit this first order block here, at that 13, almost 14 cent area, and reversing back, touching this order block down below it here on the daily, down at the 12, just a little bit of, above the 12 cent area, still below 13 cent, hitting it, and then pushing on up into that daily pink line order block right there. And then we'll see another pullback down, hitting some pink lines. And I think we're going to start seeing more upwards momentum with HBAR as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, but I think that we'll spend a day or two here collecting some of the liquidity that we're seeing here in these market gaps, and there's just nothing much else holding them back.
Yeah, I mean, let's just break it out here on the weekly. I mean, when you look at it on the weekly and stuff, I mean, we've got another slingshot opportunity, and it's coming up and it's touching it, and it's ready for another shoot to the top side again. I mean, it's beautiful setup. Let's see. Anything else on HBAR you want to look at before we move on to one more?
No, I've got my I've got my plans for HBAR set up here, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in the Discord.
Absolutely. I want to take a look at Algorand here because it's up almost 3% for the day. That weekly is showing that it's in that upwards momentum as well. That slingshot positioning. We got the daily is moving beautifully.
I don't have a position I don't have a position in Algo right now.
I
I've
don't
sold out.
either. I don't technically have any. Well, you know what? I might still have some spot that I'm holding from a few years back that I'd bought some and then kind of spent the rest of the time kind of, looking at charts and learning all the things I've been learning. And so it's been sitting there. I could probably pull it up on the app on my phone and be able to know if I actually still have it there. Let's see, what was that one on? It's been a minute. I think that is Ellie Pal, maybe. Nope, not on the Ellie Pal. Huh. Didn't know I had that on there. I forgot about that one. I got some other ones in there. I didn't realize I still had them. But let's see. We do have some other order blocks, but we got this one that it came up through it and it's broke it like it wasn't nothing. So that's something you gotta, when you see stuff like that, when it just breaks through those order blocks, we're probably gonna see some higher stuff because there's some volatility coming in that'll push those things. And that's where you're gonna see that altcoin stuff. So we do have one order block that pushes all the way up to where our yellow line is on the daily. And nope, that one's already been mitigated, so nothing there. Man, I think that's about all what I've seen for upper order blocks for the daily goes, I mean, is that 1. So might be able to see this algo push all the way up to that 17 cent before we wind up pulling back. And if it goes up in that 17 cent, you're probably going to see that yellow line on the daily get touched, which this is up at 18 cents. So go up to that 18 cent, touching the yellow, have a reverse down to one of the order blocks it's going to create on the way up, which we'll have to look at those once it actually hits. But I can see it, pushing up to there, hitting, reversing a little ways, and then doing another continuation on up, breaking above that 21 cent on Algorand. Yeah, it is set for takeoff, man. Pretty much all of these are.
Yeah, everyone's about to understand that we've not been in a bear market. Maybe we have been in one, but this is there is still an altcoin show to be had.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We was just in a, hey, we've made profits. Take a break. Let's catch our breath. Recuperate and stuff. And now we're in that position to be able to buy back in again at the bottom prices, and we're about to make a bunch of money again as it starts to pump, which as you can see, everything is lining up like I'd been calling is on the weeklies and stuff, is like especially for XRP and all that, where I tend to watch a lot more, is it's pulled back down, creating that slingshot positioning. We technically, the last time, like if I go back to XRP, so the last time on the daily that we'd gotten that green entry on the visual, that was supposed to be the takeoff time. So that was back in September on the 7th. We got the green light. We started to pump, and then that's where they said, "Whoop, nope, not yet. Cannot take off yet." And they started manipulation, holding us back. And then we had 1010 where we had that big murder candle, and we wiped pretty much any kind of earnings we'd been getting out. And then from there, we've just been working our way back down, picking up all the order blocks that I'd actually called out on that big wick candle. And I only have that one left that's at that $1.67, $1.48 area. But we came down close to that one, but that one was a big order block. So there's a lot of buy-in at that area. So you got support right there at that $1.67, $1.48. And we didn't get all the way into it to mitigate that one. And here we are already showing a parabolic move to start clearing these upper order blocks that we've got called out all the way up to that, 342 up to the 358 area. So all season is starting to kick in. We're starting to see the momentum, and we're going to start seeing here soon the decoupling from Bitcoin.
That's what we're waiting for. Hey, 60, what do you have on AXLR, AXL?
I have that one on my list here. Let's see. Don't believe I do. Let me go ahead and search that one up and see. You said AXLR?
Yes. Yep.
Just AXL or AXLR?
Well, it's AXLR, but it's just AXL.
All right.
That was a blowfin, wasn't it?
Oh, yep, right there.
Right there.
All right, so that one. I mean, we've pulled above the green for the first time on a daily. We could see another pullback down on that. We have cleared the 1010 candle that was created. So all that's been cleared out. Let's see, weekly. You could see it pull back up to the 10 cent, which would get you the order block that was created there on the weekly. So green line touch on the weekly with 10 cent is a good, possibility on that, which would get us a orange line reset, which is a daily order block at 13 cent. Yeah. So 10 to 13 cent pull back up would be something I would see first before we pull
Nice.
back down. You got the 4-hour pink line is at 14 cent. And I mean,
So it does look like it's all gathering there around that 10 to 14 mark.
Yeah, you're wind up seeing those pink lines and stuff because I mean, like right now, even on the 2-hour stuff, it's pushing towards the pink line there at 10 cent. You got the 1-hour is about to tap right now. It's going up to it, which is the 8 cent, 26 or whatever. 30 minute, of course, done been destroyed on that one. 15 minutes done, 5 minutes done, 1 minute's done. So, yeah, you're going to see that 1 hour get hit. 2-hour after that will be the 10 cent area. And so for the 4-hour, we get you all the way up to that 14 cent. You're going to see, as it goes up and hits these pink lines, you're going to see it do some pullbacks, and then it'll continuation up stuff. But as it sits, what we're needing to see is a reset above the orange line. So that order block for that is actually a 13 cent up to a 16 cent. So that would be, where you'd want to look at if you're going to short it or something. You'd want to take somewhere between that 13 cent and the 16 cent area. And then, the ideal spot of an entry would be somewhere around that 4-hour pink line. So that's
so it looks like there's a few scalp opportunities with that today.
Yeah, I mean, you could look at, some longs. I'd be looking at longs up into that, order block. I'm not going to say that you're going to get in and it don't go backwards a little bit. That's why, if you're scalping it, you want to take and get in, let it go up. And if you want to try to chance it to, if it's going to keep going, it pumps up, close off a percentage of that trade and take a profit on it. Let the rest of it ride and set your stop loss right there into the take profit. So if it goes backwards, it's going to hit your stop loss and profit, and you'll just take out a little bit more on that. And, now you've made money on it, and you've taken out money again when it closed. So that's a win-win situation on that. And if it does decide to keep going all the way on up, well then, hey, you made good money. Now you go up here and put you a short in, and like I was saying, find that good better entry stuff. I mean, you get in there at that pink liner on that, let's call it 1439. So again, for those that's not able to see it, it's 0.1439. You enter in at that area, and then we was talking about the top of that order block being at, it's actually at 0.1607. So you set a stop loss, say, 0.1608 or 0.161. You set the stop loss there. That's not as much of a difference between those than like if you was to get in at the 13 cent versus 16. That's a bigger gap, so your stop loss on a higher leverage will be kind of rough. Let's just
it doesn't leave you much wiggle room.
Yeah, let's just take a look at that though on the calculator here. So if you're looking at, say you're going to do that 1333 and stop loss up at the 16, we'll call it 1610, and so you're going to drop a grand in it and stuff, and of course it's short. Take profit. I mean, what would we say if we got in up there? We'd be looking at, we'll call it. We'll just say that we're not really sure right now, but we're gonna call it maybe 9 cents. Oops. So on a 25x leverage, that right there would be more of a loss. Wait, hold on. I got that in there incorrect. Hold on. No, that's right. It's 16 cents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the results of the profit would be great, but you would be liquidated on that one. So at 25x leverage, move it down to a 5x leverage, you're still going to be over 103% loss on that. Now, if you you move that entry to, where was that? 4 hour. Let's do 0.1451 for the entry. Now, at a 5x leverage, it's only a 54% loss versus a 189%, profit.
ROI.
And if that's still too much, I mean, you can always drop that leverage down more. So, I mean, if you drop it down to a 2x leverage, you're only going to lose about 21% of your margin, and you're going to gain 75% in profit. So it's still, either way, that's a good risk management right there. For me, if I was doing $1,000 trade on that and stuff, I'd be okay with that, losing, that 21% with a higher chance of gaining the 75% or more. But now again, I don't know the exact take profit of where we'd be going. So that's another thing too, is, we come into that order block there on the daily. Once we're triggered into it and it goes down into profit below the order block, guess what? I'm going to move my stop loss from a loss area, bring it above my entry. So that way now it's in a take profit area. So if price decided to all of a sudden, we got a bunch of volatility and it shot straight up, guess what? It's going to hit my stop loss. I'm going to take a little bit of a profit, and we're going to, not be losing anything on that. You got to remember to always use risk management and always move your stop loss into profit area once you're in the green on your entry. So that way you keep from losing money. And, if you've already got your take profit set, your stop loss is moved above your take profit into a profit area, you can walk away and go enjoy your day. Because either way, you're going to make a little bit of money here or there, either a little bit or a lot. One way or another, you're safe. You can walk away from it and not be stressed.
Yeah, you don't want to find yourself caught up. Don't let yourself get caught up in the thought process of, well, if this wicks down a little bit, it'll kick me right out of my trade. So I'm not going to put in a stop loss right now. We've all went through that at some point early in our trading careers, but if you don't have time to set up a stop loss, then you don't have time to set up a trade.
Exactly. So, yeah, if you want to learn more about the risk management stuff, you want to be able to get some of these trade calls, you want to learn the process, get these indicators and stuff, all you got to do is head over to 60strading.com. It'll get you the links and stuff. You'll be able to join the Discord. I mean, the subscription for the service is only $21.99 a month. That's like what, one bad trade, Actually, I mean, depending on what you're trading, I mean, if you was trading that one there, a $200 loss, so that, your loss will be worse than that. But the gains that you're going to get, you make that $800. Oh, guess what? You paid $21.99, for the month, and you made $800. You ain't hurting. I mean, you're making a good there. So you can always come out, check that out, and stuff. And then, of course, if you're looking for any kind of crypto gear and stuff, head over to the alphaangle.com. Got some amazing looking shirts out here, some pants, hats, and I think there's actually something that are custom. Is that not right? That you do yourself there, the wall arts.
Oh yeah, yep. And I have some of those. I can. I'll share with everybody. I'll show what some of that stuff is. Uh, when we have a little more time.
Yeah, I'm gonna wind up having to get me one of those XRP wall arts. I like that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Oh.
If you go back like through my TikToks, for, I don't know, a few years back, you'll see the original ones I was making.
I remember when you was showing it and stuff, when you was just first starting out. Got some. I like the not financial advice. I love it, love it. All right, guys. Well, hey, it's been
Hey,
fun.
I do want to say something here real quick, just to anybody that's listening. You may be sitting and thinking, well, I don't know enough about trading to go and spend $20 a month on a subscription here. Here's the thing: you don't have to know. You can start trading while you're learning, because we do this live in there all the time. You can ask any question at any time. You can sit in on this if you want to. So it's not a matter of if you're understanding how to trade yet. You just got to get in, and you got to have a good starting point.
Yeah, and just like you, when you came in here and stuff, is you've got to learn the system and forget what you've been taught and stuff, because you're sitting here, you're trying to learn it, but you're trying to add these other indicators to do the things that we're trying to teach you. And how can you know if that indicator is correct or not if you don't know how to do it yourself? So in order to learn this and be profitable, you can't always expect to have an indicator to say enter right here, exit right here, and it be accurate, or know why it does that. It's just like on order blocks. You can't add a order block indicator on there and expect it to be right if you don't know how an order block is created and how to mark it out. So until you figure out how to draw them out yourself and know if they're valid or not, I would not add a order block script on your chart, and then you're sitting there going, well, it's never broke it, it's never touched it, or whatever. Well, is it even valid? Well, I don't know. Well, you need to take and go back to the basics, get rid of that, learn what it is, how to mark it, how to know if it's still valid, if it's mitigated, and learn those steps step by step, and that's going to make you a profitable trader, along with the risk management that we teach here and stuff. You're going to be profitable. But I believe you got anything else? Going once, twice. That's it. All right, guys. So we're going to be able to end this one out here. We'll be going back at it again tomorrow. We do these in the Discord, so if you want to be able to get into these and hear it live before it gets posted out, we're in here around 6 a.m. Eastern time doing these updates, because that's the best times, around 5 and 6 in the morning, to be able to look at these charts to kind of see what we're going to be doing for the day, and if we are able to get into some good trades. So we'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. in the Discord. Make sure you get in there. Make sure you like and follow, and head over to Alpha Angle. Get you some of this gear. This stuff is amazing. I got some of it supposed to be coming in the mail here shortly, so I'm excited.